This is the summation of the December 16th meeting of the Mendham Borough Town Council. As usual, the meeting began with a silent prayer, supposed to be a moment of silence, and a pledge of allegiance that included affirmation to God. All right, anyway, getting to the business. There was two proclamation-type procedures. Council person Barbara Stanton, it was her last meeting, and so she was presented with a painting of the Phoenix House and congratulated or whatever on her service for 3 years. And so then she decided to speechify a bit, but apparently she's leaving because, you know, she's got young kids to take care of, apparently, and that she's decided is more important. So there was much talk about her service to the Public Safety Committee, and yeah, I would point out she was a huge disappointment. Being a lawyer, she should have pointed out to the town where it's breaking the law constantly and habitually. And yeah, she was primarily responsible for getting a stupid cop in the high school. Like schools need police. I think that's just does psychological damage. All right, so I think that's about it for her. And then the so good riddance. Her replacement was elected in a unopposed election. Yes, sir. Local government really works great. Just replace one fascist with another. So there was this other nonsense procedure where they gave proclamations or whatever, awards or gold stars out to the Twin Borough Bears football team for their 7-0 record. You know, like somehow we should give a damn. Just waste a huge amount of money on this sports crap. It's bad enough it's in the damn schools, and then we have to fucking publicly fund it also. It's just nonsense, taxing the roof over people's houses to, for this stupid recreational bullshit. So next thing was, there was a real long, whole substance of the meeting really was a discussion of this historic districts ordinance and the fact that it really doesn't mean much but to most people, but then if you're making certain changes and you have some sort of existing non-conforming circumstance on your property, and you somehow make that non-conforming circumstance any worse by doing any remodeling, that you could be in for a kind of a nasty procedure, in the sense you would have to go before the Board of Adjustment, and they get the right to tell you everything, and they would have basically complete control over whatever changes you're making to your home. But in most cases, that's not going to happen, and it was sort of acknowledged, not directly stated, but really the zoning officer is the one that's got all the power here. If he decides to give you a hard time, he can. So if the basic rule is probably going to be if the zoning officer likes you, don't really have a problem. But if he has some reason to dislike you, he can make your life miserable. And it's really not the way government's supposed to be, but they pass these convoluted bullshit laws that anybody can just interpret them any way they want. All right, Councilman Garubo recused himself after he commented on the subject matter, which was kind of funny. So he recused himself from the voting, and then retroactively converted himself into a citizen. Whatever, silly crap. So the salary ordinance passed again. The one, I don't know what this one covers, but yeah, more bullshit, too much money for these bums. They again discussed the animal control. We pay like whatever it is, $15,000 for this nonsense, and apparently they get 50 calls a year. So the cost to whatever ratio is not great. And so there's all this talk that next year things will be different, that we will have our own animal control officer or something other than St. Hubert's kind of expensive service. There was just approval of a Board of Health ordinance. I guess we're sharing that service with some other town, so I don't know the details of that one. And this stupid, the cops have this data terminal system in their cars, and that's a county deal, and so I don't know what we pay in for that. And then the dispatch service, which we pay, whatever, $100,000 for. And so there's always talk about that. And so it ends up, it's more radios. They're always changing the radios, this, that, or the other thing, and they want, it's just very expensive. It seems like every year we're buying thousands and thousands of dollars worth of radios. So there was a brief talk about the library staircase and just certain liability issues. The electrical inspector, they're supposed to be interviewing people for that. There was, I guess the mayor and some others went to some county thing to talk about the village designation stuff, and they're still discussing it as if it might be an option, but maybe it's not an option, but who knows. Like there's some kind of grant money available through that designation. Some talk about the DPW or whatever taking care of some of the library's maintenance burdens. I guess the municipal judge is asking for more money, so that's going to be a subject of discussion. And there was some discussion about police shared services, and the mayor commented out, well, the police share services, that's off the table forever and ever. Yeah, no, it's only off the table as long as the jackass mayor is the mayor. When he's no longer the mayor, then anything's back on the table. But obviously after the township spends a fortune building a new police station, it does change the dynamic. But yeah, they should be, they are at least talking between the fire departments, and now they're going to be talking about between the Department of Public Works departments and see if they can, do something to rationally maybe share some equipment or whatnot. But there's always talk about that shit and nothing ever happens. So I've got some time left. I did get something in the mail this week regarding the Council on Affordable Housing, which apparently has approved the borough's spending plan, which basically comes down to the borough has like $350,000 in a fund that was collected for the purpose of creating affordable housing. And their plan is to spend all the money on the senior housing complex, which is already federally subsidized, which the rents are subsidized, and which also has some blatantly illegal limitations in how it accepts applicants. So anyway, I don't know whether I'm gonna have to file a lawsuit or not. These idiots, they had this problem a year ago. They didn't raise, in this thing here, this little bits of paper here, it's all these wherefores and whereas, but they don't deal with any of the issues that caused a problem with their application the last time. None of them. They don't address a single one of them in this stupid approval. And it's just the typical local state government. And people talk about this local government like it's so fucking charming. No, these state officials are corrupt assholes. All right? The county officials are corrupt assholes, and the local officials are corrupt assholes. This is not the way to run anything with these fucking local corrupt assholes. They're all friends with each other. They break the rules all the time because there's nobody who's going to have the time and expend the effort to oversight these assholes. You can't even get any goddamn information out of them. And when you do go to sue them, the goddamn judges are all buddies with them too. So they just sit there and fuck the citizens over too. So I mean, there's no charm with local government. It's as evil. I think it's more evil. These people are just so full of shit. I mean, they break the law constantly. I mean, my constitutional rights have been completely destroyed by these assholes. They wouldn't put a fucking brick into the ground that just said something as simple as war is hell, on public space. I mean, a free speech thing where they were soliciting money to put bricks in the ground.
And they discriminated against my speech because they didn't like it. They're not allowed to fucking do that, but they did it anyway. Then public access TV, they denied the existence of public access TV. It wasn't public access TV, it's a government fucking owned TV, which is complete bullshit. Under fucking federal Supreme Court fucking rulings, it's bullshit. And what's it still going on? 2 years later, it's still fucking going on. The case I filed in, you know, what, 2000? 1999, I think? I mean, the goddamn case has been, you know, I didn't file it then, but I mean, that's when it was started, with the whole fucking controversy over the webpage. But the case has been in fucking court for 5 years and they haven't accomplished a goddamn fucking thing. I mean, it's so silly. You can't do anything with these fucking people. So, I mean, anyway. Yeah, now I'm out of time. Good. So anyway, fuck everybody. Fuck you. Fuck the town. Fuck the state. Fuck the country. Fuck everyone. Fuck them.